Hi, what does it mean to have a full moon ritual? Well, it can mean a lot of things, but I wanted to talk about a few ideas and why we would even want to do it. Why follow the lunations? So, the full moon is pretty popular in our mythology, even if you're not into correspondences or um, earth religions or astrology or other things, because we talk about lunacy or intensity. More people have babies, more people go to the emergency room, at least anecdotally. Um, but what's happening energetically is, of course, that the sun is opposing the moon. The moment that it's exact, the sun and the moon would be at the same degree of opposing signs. So there is a balancing, but also a complementarity, but um, there might be competition between the two energies. There might be a sense that you're being pulled in two directions. That's what makes it kind of intense. So the sun has been in a sign for half of the month, and then the moon gets exactly opposite it. So we've been used to one energy, and then there's this duality. It also is a time of month when we are experiencing, or we like to say we're experiencing fruition. So what does that mean? It means that things that we set as intentions earlier, perhaps at the new moon, but whenever you set an intention, it seems to come to a point where you look and see, okay, well, what happened? Did it work? What do I want to keep? What do I want to throw away? So it's not just results, it's pruning, deciding, okay, here, there's too much fruit on the tree, or there's apples and oranges and I only want apples. So it is also a time to look at what you want to release. You can use crystals. There's a few crystals that are indicated for sort of anchoring this energy of letting go. And one of them is gold rutilated quartz. It's got these little lines in it that are perhaps not possible to see, but this side of it looks almost dirty, but it's these yellow strands within the quartz. And then the other one would be a smoky quartz. And another one is anhydrite, which is a light green serpentine, which I do not have an example to show you. The other use of crystals that you could do is to actually take a crystal and write something on it. So you'd have to play around with what crystal will accept a Sharpie perhaps, and then bury it. Or you could just breathe into it the intention of what it is that you want to let go. And by burying the crystal, you are giving it back to the earth and letting it be absorbed. You could also make a list, rather than writing one thing on a crystal. You could make a list of all the things that you want to release, and then you can bury that under the full moon. You could first perhaps burn it in an abalone shell, or if you want to just tear it up or make it really small, fold it up, and then bury that again with that idea that you're giving it away, releasing it. Another idea that I had seen is to make that list on a piece of art paper and then cover it up with a collage. So you're releasing it by creating what it is that you want to retain or attract into your life. So you also, of course, want to look at the sign that the moon is in, but you could consider as well the element of the full moon. So I'm mentioning Earth, and that kind of fits in terms of Virgo, the full moon that we're approaching, getting rid of the list or the crystal that you've written something on by burying it into the earth. Earth is also a good thing in the full moon as a time to clean your crystals. So you can lay them out under the full moon. I usually put them in the windowsill, but you could lay them actually on the ground so that they are getting the energy dispersed into the ground that needs to be cleaned from the crystals that you're actually going to keep and retain. Another thing that you can do is consider the other elements. So how would you do some releasing with a full moon that was in a water sign? If you have a river or a body of water or ocean nearby, you can take your list and tear it up, or your crystal that represents that you put the energy into it, and release it into the water. Or sometimes if I'm not near a body of water, I will flush it or put it in down the sink drain. And then if the full moon is in air, you can use incense to release energy into the air. You could use a feather. You could, if it's a windy day or evening, you can take your list and then release it into the air so that the wind carries it away. And then if it's fire, of course, that would be, would make sense that you would take your list and burn it, maybe use a candle, again, maybe put it into an abalone shell or something like that. And then on another level, those 4 elements have to do with how you're going to feel on a full moon. So I feel like an intense full moon happens during the water signs. The Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces full moons are pretty emotional, but the fire signs would be intense as well. You might feel a little bit more creative during a fire sign moon, or destructive too. You could have more that you want to release. The air signs are going to possibly be a little bit more mental, that you're releasing thoughts. And then the earth signs, again, like Virgo, that we're having this upcoming full moon, would, you might be a little bit more, I want to release things, so I'm going to clean out my closet. Like, it's going to be a little bit more practical. Like, what physical things are you going to actually